So we are very honored. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what I said is we keep it short. I keep it short because we have not so much time. I just want to pay my gratitude to Geshe La to have taken the time and to come here to Switzerland, because I saw his timetable, which is very full, with different courses going on different levels in Tibet, a Tibet House in Delhi, in doing retreats, giving advice, having discussions with scientifics, etc., etc. So we feel very honored and blessed to be able to receive you here and to share your teachings with us in what I know a very interactive way with patients, if it's necessary. So also I want to thank all the Tibetan people who came. This is the first time we have so many Tibetans coming here. I hope it's not the last time. And well, I enjoy. That's all I have to say, actually. Thank you, Geshe. Yes.
You know, in Switzerland we go slowly. Deeply, but slowly. The intention is deep.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Christophe, peut-être je vais le faire comme ça ils m'entendent aussi. Parce que là ils vont t'entendre qu'en français. Ouais. Page 42, page 42. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is freed of flows. May I be blessed that the flows are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami.
Okay, thank you, Yuan or Hans, for introducing very quickly introducing the program, and also coming here. Yes, it is my first time to Geneva and to this place, to the Chamzeling Center. This is my first time. And coming here and and having our Jimbala here and Nicola, so there, yes, there's like a feeling of familiarity, meaning that, okay, and then two of them introducing Patrick and Marian, I think, Marian, and I could see the warmth, it's so beautiful. And then on the way, Jimbala said that you're going to meet with somebody who has a huge body. This is how Jimbala introduced to me. He said, you're going to meet a huge body with an extremely huge and beautiful heart. Okay, that made me, okay, I'm not going to a new place. That is what I want, to see someone with a beautiful heart, expansive heart, and finally meeting all of them. And then the middle of them is so beautiful. And yesterday, Lampan and myself, with Jimbala, three of us on the train was delayed 1 hour, and we are very apprehensive that we'll reach here by, not here, at the train station by like 10:30, and then another 1 hour late, 11:30, and then somebody who's ever going to receive Nukula and Lama asked me, Kishala, what kind of place we're going to be there? I said, I have no clue. I said, I have no clue. Somebody called me and I just go there, that's it. And he was surprised that we don't know where we're going. Okay, so this is one thing. And then at the train station, Yuan and the Carol, two of them with Chamze, right? Changsem, so they're there. And then the way from the train station to here, it's quite like 2 hours. 1.5, almost like 2 hours. And then I learned that Carol has to go back again, another 1 hour, and I was very concerned. And then coming here, I would see, you know, the very warm faces. Patrick, Marianne, and then what Jimbala said, the huge man with a huge heart. I could see that. And then the already, you know, UN and the Carol, they are there, and my very affectionate Tibetans are there, Ajahn, and then yesterday Ajahn was there. Yes, so, and then as UN beautifully said, that many Tibetans joined this program. This is to be very honest, as UN introduced, that basically in the first place, is my first time, usually, so when it's the first time, new place, and so maybe perhaps, I don't know, it's maybe because of my age also, aging, and then you feel at more ease. At the same time, I could feel that there's so many connections, and one major factor for my connection with all these European places is Nico. And Nicola, he was the one. Okay. He was the one since I think 2016, was it? 15? No. Yeah, 16, we met Bodh Gaya. And then so from there, then everything. So, by the way, when Nicola he spreads the wave of Dharma wherever he travels. This is amazing. So, to be very honest, in College of Center, it started from College of Center. It's how Nicola started. Nicola, she extended the invitation, and then Venerable Elizabeth supported the idea, and then he coming to Delhi again into the center at PMT. Again, he just spread the wave of Dharma. Then Delhi also. That's amazing. Very, very inspiring. So in a way, as Yuan explained, that this is the very short visit, but I can see the warmth in everyone. I'm sure that each one of you, with your own these life challenges, at the same time coming here, you feel the very beautiful, say the space created by the Patrick and Marianne. So this is a very beautiful space. You could feel the spirituality, and I'm sure everybody will agree with me. So I really appreciate. And then, so although we're going to have less time, I'm just going to give a quick idea of what we're going to do the next few days. I'm sure somebody at PMT, the Gyudmed Center, has already explained the retreat, but let me quickly explain to you. One thing is that the retreat schedule we're going to follow as the same as how we conduct the retreat in other places like College Center and so forth. There's so many places where we conduct the retreat, and it's going to be the same thing. The second point that I'd like to share with you is that the book that you are given, the book, so the Blaze, this book, this is your copy. This is your copy. This is particularly printed last year, coinciding with His Holiness's commemoration of His Holiness's 90th birthday anniversary, and to reflect, to contemplate on the great, incredible, compassionate, the enlightened deeds of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to commemorate that. Tibet House is a part of some of the programs Tibet House Delhi conducted. So several publications were being done. As a part of this is in the edition of His Holiness's birthday celebration, the 90th birthday anniversary. So this is your copy. And how it came to your hand for free is because that there are some generous sponsors from Singapore. There's a couple there, Brother Alvin and Sister Christy, two of them since years ago told us Tibet House that whenever we conduct programs, retreats, anywhere in the world, so this book, they want to make it free to be offered to all the participants for free. So they donate it, and there's some amount, one. And number two, that there is another gentleman by the name Brother Sonam. I'm sure some of you who used to attend the retreats, Brother Sonam La, from Singapore. Again, he's a Singaporean. His Tibetan name is the Sonam. So he also contributed. He and his family contributed. So the books, they're your copies. Please make sure that you take it home. And this is a very, very precious book, because it took us like 20 years of effort to finally come to this publication. And the initial idea, yes, there are more copies. If you didn't get it, please make sure that you get a copy for yourself. And this book, let me just quickly explain to you. We have more copies. Okay, so let me quickly explain how this book came into being. This is, again, another thing that we need to know. The book, when I was translating for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, by the way, this is my second time in Switzerland. I think I did mention this. And when I was translating for His Holiness taught on the many important short texts composed by the Indian masters, Tibetan masters, and as the English translator, I had to make the materials available in English. So where translated, I got them, revised the translation. Where not translated, I had to do a very quick translation, and I just archived them all together. And finally, I thought that why not we bring this in the form of book, so that it's so precious, for the reason that His Holiness selected these the texts would be very helpful for all of us. And then on top of that, to be added the things which we need to use on a more like a daily basis, or otherwise some important aspects of the Dharma practice related. And so this is a compilation. And after about 10 years of the compilation, still the actual publication is not happening. And there was one Bhutanese gentleman. And when he came to know about it, he said that, Geshe La, you have to now publish it. If you don't publish it, it'll never get published. You will always see some mistakes there. So yes, he's very right. It took me like 20 years. Yeah, it took me 20 years. But the thing is that this book, you will not find it in Amazon also. So this is your copy, and you find this only in Tibet House. But strangely, somehow one of my friends in Nepal, she went to a shop, and in a bookshop, and this book was available there. We did not really send to any bookshops. Somehow how they got it, we have no idea. Even Amazon did not have it, doesn't have it. So this shop had it. It's a very auspicious indication. Yeah, okay, so what I'm saying is that this is a very important task. Particularly, I would say that the people like Pope John Paul. Yes, okay, John Paul, the director of the Gendu Center, and the Patrick and Marianne and the UN and Carol, all the seniors. You believe it or not, you just flip through this, and I'm sure that you will love it. You will love this book because there are many people who are into Dharma, English dependent, and people who are into Dharma. When they come to get this book, it was not even this size. It was just half the size of what is today. And they said that this is exactly what we've been looking for the last many years. So being connected with Dharma, last 30 years, 40 years, we've been looking for such a book. And finally it came out. Okay, so I'm sure that I can see that many of you are already doing Dharma for many years, and this book will be very handy for you. Okay, one thing. And then primarily these are the root text, which His Holiness the Dalai Lama picked up to explain when giving the public teachings over the last while I was translating was for about 6 or 7 years time. So during those 6 years, the ones that I gathered put here, and later on, the ones that I found some important aspects, which my other teachers gave. So this also included, and the bits and pieces which I read from the very important treatises, again I included them here. So this is, in a way, I would say this will be a very, very handy book for you. One. Then the next thing is about the group discussions. Group discussions, we see that they are, in fact, I would say the best person who I can assign is Nicola. Now, Nicola, if you can, say, based on the retreats which I conducted from, the format of the retreat, and Nicola will assign the seniors as moderators. And given that we don't have much time, at the most we have 2 full days tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and then the 2 days later, the last day is going to be half a day, is it? Yeah, so therefore, the group discussions is very important. And Nicola, depending on how many the participants are here, you split them into smaller groups, maybe 10 each. And then the group leaders, their job, we don't really call them as group leaders, we call them as moderators. Moderators, the job is not to review the talk, not to review the teachings, but making sure that the moderator, gives opportunity to all the participants, let them speak, everybody speak. Everybody speak, meaning that one can ask a question, another person can again give the answer 1 minute, another person can ask question again 1 minute. So in other words, to give opportunity to as many participants as possible. This is the job of the moderator. And it'd be good if the moderator can, say by rotation, you allow somebody to do a quick review of what was done in the session, and then the once the review is done, but with some of the important points, say the enumeration of the 5 points, 6 points, and so forth. So all these, if the group moderator can assign somebody to quickly do the review, and if somebody cannot do the review too well, it doesn't matter, then give the chance to a second person, and then once that is done, and then go for the question answer. For the question answer, what I may suggest is that particularly the senior ones who have been into Dharma for so long, naturally your knowledge is better, is richer, is more profound. So what I would suggest is that, if possible, let the beginners ask the questions, and the seniors can respond. But when you respond, make it very succinct. Succinct meaning minimum 2 minutes or 3 minutes, not longer, because the group discussion is only for about 1 hour. Tea break and group discussion is clubbed together. So this is one part, and then the next part is about so before tea or the breakfast, the lunch, dinner. Before that, what you do is that we read like 20 verses. 20 verses, keep reading 20 verses from about 20 verses, not necessarily 20. 20 can be 20, can be 19, or maximum can be 25. And we keep reading them, and we read them because that we do the classes. It's going to be quite rigorous, because of which, then when you read the text, it's like you are having two classes simultaneously. One, the teaching class, and the other one's reading. You will come to understand many of the concepts simply by reading because of the classes. So it's like double benefit we are getting. Meanwhile, the food offering verses also here. So Nicola will, if Nicola can take charge of how to let the flow, to check the flow of these, that would be very helpful, because Nicola has been with me for all these retreats, many retreats. He knows the format so well. Okay, so, but having said this, I'm just curious, how many of you are into Buddhism for like more than 3 years? More than 3 years. More than 3 years? Okay. More than 3 years. Okay, less than the 2 years or less. Raise hands. 2 years or less. Okay, so the then that makes things a little easy for us. And how long have you been, Tommy? Tommy Jeans? Yes. 2 years. Okay, that's not bad. So what I'm saying is that if the people are quite exposed to all these things, then I don't really have to explain what is prostration, what is offering lights, and so forth. But still, they can be. Let's make sure that no, what is they say? What is that? No stone left unturned. Okay. So let me quickly explain. Just if you have heard about it, well and good. If not, if you have heard about it, there's going to be a little bit of revision or maybe different perspective. And if you did not hear about this before, then there's going to be a new information for us. Okay, first, prostration. Making prostration. In the first place, say what is prostration. Then the next is why do we do that. And then number 3 is, how to do that? What is prostration? Because that, say, in this culture, the prostration is a part of it, and offering lights is another part of it. Part of it's a practice, and people may be wondering, why do we have to do these things? So what is prostration? Why do we do that? And how do we do this? So once you know what it is, then the question, why should we do this? Once you know why should we do that, then you will ask how to do it. Okay, so this is first, what is prostration? It's not just a ritual. It's not just a ritual. By the way, rituals, there are 2 kinds. People oftentimes say, oh, I don't have rituals. So rituals, there are 2 kinds, constructive rituals and the redundant rituals, obsolete rituals. Obsolete rituals, or I would say the obsolete would be a better word. The one is constructive rituals and the obsolete rituals. There are 2. So one with change in time, which is totally unnecessary, now obsolete, no use anymore, and still people hold on to doing that. That is not the obsolete rituals, which is Holiness totally against. But it doesn't mean the rituals are all bad. For example, in schools, the school children, they put on the uniform. Okay, is it happening in Switzerland? Okay, no uniforms. Okay, then they have to follow the traffic rules. No traffic rules, right? No traffic rules, or they have to follow rules. You have to drive in the right lane or left lane. Right lane. Right lane or left lane? Right lane. So that's a ritual. That's a ritual, because you have to follow something. You have to follow the system, and then somebody says, why right lane, why not left? Right? Why this freedom? Freedom to drive wherever you like. You're gonna no, it becomes chaotic. So we have to follow a rule. So that becomes a ritual. So ritual does not mean just hand gestures. It's not just hand gestures. So anything in the form of rules, regulations you're following, that becomes a ritual, which may not necessarily be followed, but you're following. That is known as ritual. But it's a constructive ritual. Following the traffic rules is a very constructive ritual. It's very important. And there are some redundant rituals. Okay, so so we have only like 3 days. 3 days. So therefore, I don't know whether it's good or bad. 3 days. So therefore, I say the little bit of the digressions, which would spice up the food, spice up this talk. We have to cut down. Otherwise, we cannot get anywhere. Usually, in such retreats, it takes like 3 or 4 days to pick up the momentum. While the momentum is picked up, then it's time for me to leave. Okay, so we should I should be a little careful to keep watch of how much to say. Okay, so prostrations. Prostrations, it is the expression of respect. What is prostration? So what is, number one, what is it? It's the expression of respect. And why do we respect? Why do we have to respect? This question. So respect is respect is admiration. Admiration that you generate, that you feel, you generate towards anything. For example, like I respect Albert Einstein, I respect the Buddha, I respect Nelson Mandela, and today we all respect His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So there's this respect. So the respect, why you respect His Holiness? Why you respect Nelson Mandela? Why you respect? Because we see them as role models for bringing harmony in the world. Why you respect Albert Einstein? Because I see him as a role model. I like physics. So therefore he is the top-notch scholar, brilliant thinker, a physicist. So I love him. So that way you want to acquire. So of course this tendency of respect, admiration, that is okay. This is good. You love it, very good. But then why do we do that? So finally, say you speak the German Swiss, or French Swiss, or Italian, or the other one similar to the Latin. Yes, homage. So when you speak that, sometimes your French people don't understand. Your Germans, they don't understand. Okay, it doesn't matter. They don't understand your German also. Right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that, say, you become so fluent in that particular language. How come that you become so fluent? Because you learned it from your parents, without the parents actually teaching you. Because you see your parents constantly, and a small child sees the parents and says, okay, so when you are very young age, except for with few exceptions, otherwise generally people, the children, they see the parents as though like they know everything. Not really everything, with respect to life, they know everything. So the language, whatever, they have trust on you. So this is how they learn from you so fast. They learn from you. For example, like Lama Balden, I met him since he was 12 years old. Since he was 12 years old, and his teacher, and we were classmates. And his teacher is a brilliant teacher, amazing, compassionate teacher, amazing. So I could see now, many years we did not meet. So now from observing him, I can see that he reflects how he talks and how his thinking are all shaped by his teacher's way of thinking, even spoken. So what I'm saying is that this is how you pick up, learn. So when you say that I love Albert Einstein, the tendency for you to learn from him is so effective. So I respect the Buddha, I respect the Dharma, I respect the Sangha, meaning that you learn from these three sources of refuge so fast. So respect is expression. The prostration is expression of respect, and the respect is what attracts the qualities that you admire, the source. Find what you want. You want these qualities. Find what you want. Find what you want. Just stop to minimize your miseries. For example, if I ask, what do you think is the purpose of life? Okay, very quick. What do you think is the purpose of life? Very quick. Some who are my age, and some who are younger than me, and some who are youngest ones. Yeah, quick. What do you think is the purpose of life? Very quick. Marianne, what do you think is the purpose of life? Okay, anyone else? Okay, so this is okay. The John Paul. Okay, he's being already influenced by the philosophy. Anyone else? What do you think? To be happy, or some people may say that to have a healthy life, or some people say that to have a very harmonious family. Somebody say money, somebody say wealth, somebody say power, somebody say adventure. So people have different the understanding of what is meant by the purpose of life. But so if there are like 100 people, most likely you will minimum get like 20, 30 different answers. If you ask the next question, why do you need money? Why do you need power? Why do you need adventure? Why do you need good family? Why do you need good health? Why? If you ask this, then everybody will say this, comes to the same point. That is, with money, money talks. Only money talks. So therefore, money makes me happy. Power makes me happy. And the good health makes me happy. Where health is wealth. With health, everything happens. So some say dharma. That is already very structured understanding, very structured. Otherwise, you can go to the street and ask the people. They give different answers. But if you ask the second question, they'll all boil down to the same. That is, that after all, I'm tired of the life's complications. I don't want the miseries. I want to stop the painful tears. Tears enough. How many shed tears in your life, raise hands? How many shed tears in life? Okay, so how many you don't know what is tears? Okay, so the elders, we have the experience. So younger ones, you have no experience. It seems like this is the youngest one. Are you the youngest one, or there's a younger one somewhere? Okay, younger ones. If you don't know what is tears, don't worry. They're waiting for you. Many tears are waiting for you. Okay. So what I'm saying is that just these are contemplations. Think about these, then we see that finally it's about my happiness. It's about my happiness. For the happiness, how do you get happiness? This is what we're going to learn. And many seniors, they already learned about these things. And from, for example, coming to this Gomba, we see, looking at the tangas and so forth, I can see that Patrick and Marian, they were so well exposed to many teachers. That's amazing, very meritorious. And then get into center, John Paul. So what you've learned is amazing. So particularly I would say that those who are the new to the system, and those who are younger ones, we can learn all these things. So, for example, like, why I'm saying this is that admiration, frustration, It's an expression of the respect. And respect has a sense of element of the appreciation. With appreciation, it attracts the good qualities, like how a child picks up the language so fast. Learn from their parents, so fluent, as good as how the parents speak. For example, when I was young meaning I must be aged like 14 or 15, I was so crazy after Albert Einstein, because I was so fond of physics and mathematics. I was so crazy after Albert Einstein. And one of my seniors, who was my very close friend, and in those days, there was in 1980s, early 80s or mid 80s, Tibetans going abroad was next to the impossibility. And there were many, some of the Tibetans who were sent to Switzerland. When I was like a baby, like I was like 5 or 6, I knew some Tibetans were sent to Switzerland. I knew about that. So keeping that aside, so my friend to what do you call it, the immigration, they migrated to America to join his family. He was just maybe 16 or 17 years old, and we've been very close friends. He said, "Dorji, what do you want from America?" So in those days, no emails. No emails. You send the one letter, and then it takes 15 days to get there. And from there, send back to you, it'll take another 15 days. So you can relax for 1 month. Okay. So I wrote back to him, not email, through handwriting. I said, I want a big poster of Albert Einstein. And it never came. So already 40 years passed. More than 40 years passed. It never came. And every time I have these retreats, I share this experience with the people. Some people, they sympathize with me. They sympathize with me. They bring the framed picture of Albert Einstein, not as big, smaller ones. But I don't mean to say that you bring bigger ones. This is not what I'm not interested in anymore. Now with age, I have no time for, E = MC squared and so forth. I have no time for that. Now my time is to focus on emptiness and Bodhicitta. So this is it. So therefore, no need to bring such framed Albert Einstein photographs. Now I'm interested, not as crazy as before. Okay, so having said this is frustration. Now, this frustration is expression of the respect. Then why do we do that? To acquire respect and admiration is a magnet. To attract what you want. So you admire the Buddha, you attract the Buddha's qualities. You admire, for example, like His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, we attract the qualities, good qualities of His Holiness. So and finally, these good qualities for what? For good qualities, particularly good qualities related to the Buddha's teachings, His Holiness's teachings, so forth. It is for your ultimate well-being. For your ultimate well-being. For example, like this young man, young boy, I would say, when he was like 12 or 13 years old, he was crazy after Einstein. But what I can learn from Albert Einstein is just equals MC square. It doesn't really have anything to do with the Buddhahood. So therefore, finally, as John Paul said, the purpose is to become enlightened. What is meant by become enlightened is to attain the highest level of what you are seeking. Seeking twofold. One, to minimize your miseries. Number 2, maximize your happiness. And people think, for example, something that I can minimize my miseries or suffering or stress or tears by with money. So work. And then they say the money. With the money, and they think the money talks. So that when you are physically weak, you have health issues, money talks. Or when you want to you meet with the family, go to a holiday, money talks. So this is what some people think. Yes, of course, it's very important. It's very important. Keep in mind that, dharma, 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 and then forget. So people, when they show too much interest in dharma, then they ask me how to proceed. The first thing is I check them if they are young, like, in their 20s or 30s. I tell them that, okay, first tell me if you show this depth of the sincerity and interest in dharma, you tell me. I should be very honest. How will you sustain yourself? You are just 20 years old, but you are 30 years old. How do you sustain the next 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years? How do you sustain? If the person is very confident, I have this much of saving, it's good enough for my whole life, then if you're interested, so this is the direction. Otherwise, I say that if you're not sure about how to sustain yourself, I say that your dharma is your passion. At the same time, we should be very realistic. So make sure that you do some job, or if you have a family business, continue with this. Meanwhile, dharma should not be forgotten. That is your passion. Carry this with you. So making sure that at least you're sustained. Financially, you're sustained well. We should be very practical also. And His Holiness, His Holiness is extremely practical. His Holiness says that the Tibetans, they're so fond of Zambala. They got a wealth. And they do a lot of puja doing God of wealth, but there's not even a single millionaire. And the Westerners, they don't do any Zambala. But there are so many billionaires and millionaires there. His Holiness, in a way, what His Holiness, we should be very practical. This is what His Holiness is saying. So this is very important for us. So having said this, the next is, why do you do that? Why do you do the prostration? Is to attract the good qualities with the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, and these teachers they have, to attract these qualities, to learn from them. So then the next question is, how to do that? How to do that? So the Tibetan versions there, Indian versions there, Thai versions there, Chinese versions there, they are always correct. We are following Tibetan tradition. We have to do the Tibetan tradition. No, let us not be too rigid. Let us be not rigid. And in fact, all the traditions, whatever proposed by any other traditions, including the Islam, Christianity, the Hinduism or Jainism or Sikhism or Judaism, whatever tradition, Baha'i, they're all just perfect. As long as these physical gesture or verbal gestures, they invoke your sense of respect. They invoke your sense of respect. That's perfect. It's not that ours one is the best and others are, So this is chauvinism. So we should not have a sense of, we should know the concept. His Holiness is so particular that we should know the concept, and then you will not be wavered. You will not be wavered by the wrong concepts and wrong ideas, and particularly by the fundamentalists. Otherwise, we become sectarian, we become fundamentalist, we become chauvinistic. And the whole Dharma is to embrace, not to reject. And we tend to reject, push others away from us. This is not Dharma. So, for example, like here, I come to learn that the Patrick and Marianne, so the center that they run, this is so non-secular. Anybody's welcome. Anybody, a standard, say the tradition teacher, anybody is most welcome. This is amazing. Okay, so of course, it doesn't mean that the other centers who have their own rules and regulations. We have to abide by the rules and regulations. It's not that so you have your own policies. So you have own policies. In other words, the Dharma is not to reject others. So therefore, prostrations, as long as any style, any physical, verbal gestures invoke your sense of respect, admiration in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, that is perfect. So in the Tibetan tradition, what we do is that we pull the two hands together with the thumbs inside, put them inside, and we need to know the symbolism. This gesture from outside we see as a gem. For example, if you look at Avalokiteshvara, so between the two hands, he's holding the gem. Avalokiteshvara, holding the gem. So this is symbolic of the gem. What is gem? Gem is wish fulfilling gem. A gem, and say not all gems, but gem, ideally speaking, is to fulfill your aspiration, fulfill your wish, fulfill your wishes. And what is your wish? The greatest of the wish, the greatest of the agent which can fulfill your aspiration is the Bodhicitta. Where somebody is compassionate, everything good happens. Everything good happens. When a compassion is missing, for example, let's say somebody wants, let's say, somebody wants water. Somebody's choking and wants water. So what's there? You can give you water. And so when the compassion is missing, somebody's choking, and even the water will not go there. When the compassion is missing, nothing good happens. When the compassion is there, everything happens. For example, like here, Venerable Padan, he's so compassionate, very compassionate. So he makes things, for example, like things which are impossible, he'd make possible because of his incredibly big heart. And today I learned from Jimbala that there's another one with a big body and big heart. Yes. Okay. So that way, so this Bodhicitta, the highest level of the compassion is the Bodhicitta. So this is symbolic. This hand gesture is symbolic of Bodhicitta. What is Bodhicitta? This is universal compassion or universal affection, which wishes to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. As John Paul said, the purpose is to become enlightened. So that only when you are very powerful, you can make things happen for others. And what is the best thing, which is most effective in making things happen, making the good things happen to all sentient beings, is only when you become Buddha. So on this gem, this external shape is the symbolic or this metaphor for the gem. And gem, the best of the gem, is the Bodhicitta. So this hand gesture symbolizes Bodhicitta, and hollow inside symbolizes the wisdom of emptiness. So this Bodhicitta says that that I will benefit all the beings. How to benefit others? Benefit others is by making sure that you become perfect. Only when you're perfect, you become somebody with the greatest of the potential. Then you can benefit others. So what makes this greatest of the potential manifest is what is known as the wisdom of emptiness. So this is what we have to learn, wisdom of emptiness, and we'll try to explain what the wisdom of emptiness is like within the next 2 days. Okay, so inside the hollow is symbolized the wisdom of emptiness. So the two wings of the bird. For example, for the car to move, car should have enough fuel. You agree? It should have enough fuel. So fuel is a metaphor for the compassion. It has so much energy. Now, if the car also should have the proper steering, stable steering. Stable is to give direction. If the steering is broken, even the car has so much of fuel, then it doesn't know where you're going. So it should have the proper steering, and it should have the fuel, enough fuel. Fuel is the metaphor for Bodhicitta, and the steering is the metaphor for the wisdom to give us the direction. So these are two wings of the bird to cross the ocean of miseries. Two wings. Okay, so look, this just one hand gesture symbolizes both the wings. What are the two wings? Wing of the compassion and the wing of the wisdom. So compassion, the highest level of which is Bodhicitta. Okay, so then this hand, you put it on 3, it touches 4 spots or 3 spots. 4 spots or 3 spots, it is up to you. If 4 spots, then the crown, forehead, throat, and the heart. And why these 4 spots? So whatever we learn, make sure that we know the reasons. Whatever we learn, make sure that we know the reasons. So that this is so important. If you know the reasons, then you gain confidence in what you're doing. With this confidence, then you see that what the Buddha taught, this is so precious. So, particularly, I would say, following the Buddha's teachings, you can be very, very confident. So, confidence comes to you through the knowledge, and knowledge comes through you through the answers that you get to the questions that you're confronted with. So, it's so important not to follow blindly. Okay, having said this, so why the 4 spots? The crown. Crown is symbolic that when you become a Buddha, when you touch it, it should remind us that when you become a Buddha, you get the crown. If you look at the Buddha, you see at the top there's a protrusion, there's a crown, and that crown has a unique feature and to be of service, to render service to the sentient beings on a large scale. So this crown, it says the merit required to attain this crown. For you to become Buddha, you require all the facets, the features of the Buddha to be accomplished. For each one of them, you require enormous amount of merit accumulation. And for this, the crown is one spot which requires a tremendous accumulation, merit accumulation for you to attain that. So that why the crown is so important is that when you become Buddha, how you benefit the beings, the major part of these benefits are rendered through the crown. Then the next is the forehead. So forehead again is very important. So when you touch it, you just visualize that I'm activating the seed within myself to let the bindu or the dot at the forehead. So actually it's a hair, not like single hair, it's like round spiral hair. So for in the Indian traditions, you see that the girls, they put the pink or red, whatever, bindu there, just put there. This beautiful tradition. So when you become Buddha, if you look at the Buddha Thanga or statue, you see some dot there. This is actually hair spiraling clockwise. So why this is so important? This is extremely important. Finally, when you become Buddha, is to make everybody Buddha. And for that matter, we see that who are those who are on the verge to become Buddhas? Bodhisattvas. Within Bodhisattvas, there are so many layers. Gade, Paragate, Parasangate, Bodhiswaha. So Bodhisattvas, they are these like the 4 layers, and finally Bodhiswaha Buddha. So Gade, Paragate, Parasangate. The 4th one, Parasangate, part of preparation. When you reach that, within that, there are again 10 divisions. The 10th one, when you reach the 10th one, so you can become Buddha only if you are empowered by another Buddha. For example, like say, you already, how many you did your PhD in any program? PhD, anyone who did PhD? Okay, no one. PhD? No one? Okay. So the same, if you do PhD, so finally you have to submit your thesis. So thesis role is submit. Now you are waiting for the professor to read through the thesis. Read the thing. Okay, it's very auspicious. So just, I think 1 hour ago, I received a message from one PhD student who said, I already submitted my thesis, and my professor told that the professor is going to contact me to be the external supervisor to go through the thesis. Okay, now it's coming. Okay, so but the thesis, although you're already qualified, you already submitted your thesis, but still you are not a PhD. You are not awarded PhD degree, because there should be a professor there to tell you that vice chancellor, the university, should tell you that, okay, you are now a PhD, the full-fledged PhD. You get a certificate. Then you claim yourself, okay, Dr. Gombo, Dr. Kunsang, or Dr. Dr. Patrick, or Dr. John Paul. So somebody has to give you somebody should be there to authorize you as a doctorate. So likewise, for a Bodhisattva on the 10th level, to become Buddha, unless you are empowered. So in Buddhism, there's what is known as empowerment. You heard about all these empowerments, initiations, empowerment, so forth. So in the context of the 10th level Bodhisattva, they can become Buddha only if another Buddha empowers you. So when you become a Buddha, you can empower other Bodhisattvas to become Buddha through your forehead, the bindu there. The bindu there you see, look at all the Buddhas, you see that they're all marked with this bindu there, the dot there. So that's actually hair. It's hair like the white hair spiraling clockwise. So that is a very important. So therefore this is where you touch. And throat, next part. Why you touch the throat? Because that finally, what is the best way to benefit others? Guess. Just speak your mind. What do you think? By giving teachings, by giving money, or by treating them medically. What do you think? By giving Dhamma teachings, by giving teachings. Okay. And yes, for a part, on the contrary, the people, are they interested in teachings or somebody performing magic? No? So look at this place. It's so quiet, very peaceful. There, believe it or not, if today Gombala or the Jimbala levitate 2 feet in the air, or John Ball 2 feet in the air and sit there for like not 2 hours, even 2 minutes, all these places will be jam-packed tomorrow. Traffic jam. 100%. Teaching on Bodhicitta happening? No, you have to advertise months and months. Nobody will come. But they levitate for 2 hours? No, 2 minutes. BBC will come. CNN will come. And what's what news channel? Swiss news channel? SAS. RTS. They will all come with a special helicopter. Come. It'll be just jam-packed. And then what will these people get? What will these people get? They'll say, they come here, this place where it happens. I'd like to go there and see. Gombala is there. And he's one. 2 of them, right? And then John Paul there, right? So these are the ones who flew, right? They see you, and then they, wow, and they leave, finish. What they get, they don't get anything. But they're so excited by this. So this is where the people, they're like small children. They really can be benefited by the study of emptiness and bodhicitta. These they're not interested. Somebody levitates, then it's a great excitement. Okay, so where the real benefit for us, real benefit for small children, if you say that, oh, no need to go to school, play with your gadget, PlayStation, games, they're so happy. They'll say, you are the kindest parents, kindest mother. And if you say go to school, then the particular Monday morning, they feel just deflated. So what I'm saying is that but in reality, the parents, they love their child so much. They still make sure that the child goes to school because the long run, education will help. These games do not help. So the parents know long run what will help the child. So therefore, long run for sentient beings, the best way by which we should benefit the beings is the teaching, speech, teaching. And teaching is done, the speech. This is the most important feature. So you touch this to activate your speech to become Buddha speech, to turn into Buddha speech. And finally, the heart. Why the heart? It's because that when you become a Buddha, how to become Buddha is your mind has to become Buddha, your mind. And your mind, the residence of your mind, the main residence of the mind is the heart. It's not the biological heart, it's just the spot in the chest, say the mid, the midpoint of the chest and go inside. So like the spinal cord and little inside, that is the spot for your heart, the residence of your mind. But it doesn't mean that your mind is always there. For example, like my residence, the main residence is Delhi, but you will not find me in Delhi. You will always find me traveling. You're getting it? Or when the travel is finished, then I go back to Delhi. So likewise, when you're about to die, then mind will go back to his original residence. That is the heart. Okay. So you have to, when you say to become Buddha, this mind has to become Buddha. This mind has to become Buddha. And where is the residence of this? The heart. So when you touch it, you're activating the spot where the heart goes back to its true nature. Go back to its the true nature in the form of what is known as the Buddha nature. It manifests. So the spot where it manifests is the heart. So you touch this. If you touch 3 spots, only 3 spots, then the crown and the forehead, you choose one, then the speech and the heart, symbolizing the 3 doors of your existence, the body, speech, and mind. Okay, good. So this is and then you touch all the 5 spots when you actually make prostrations, the 2 palms, the 2 knees, and your forehead on the ground. And then if you are to really, say, do like 100,000 prostrations and so forth, and some people say that you have to do it directly on the bare floor. This is not wise advice, because it can damage your knees. If you damage your knees, once the knees is damaged, then you can't do anything. So to make sure that not only knees, even the internal organs like heart, lungs, liver, and so forth, they can badly be affected if the body directly touch with the floor like cement floor, or the stones and so forth, and it can really damage your internal organs long run. So therefore, make sure that you protect these. Okay, these prostrations. Then the next is light offerings. So from tomorrow morning, we'll do the light offerings. And the light offerings, when you offer, what we do is that the first to whom we are offering the lights. In the first place, light. Light is symbolic of the wisdom. Light is symbolic of wisdom. So when you offer the light, there's a verse which you can read from here, page 8. It says, what is the English? With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. So we're going to recite this verse, but it's not necessary. This is the only verse, no? But this verse is said by Bodhicitta Shantideva. So in the mornings when we make the light offerings, we're going to recite this together, so till everybody finishes offering the lights. So we recite this and keep in mind. Okay, first let me finish just this part. The light offering. The light offering. And when you offer the light, so keep in mind, is symbolic of offering light of the wisdom to dispel the darkness of ignorance. And finally, why to dispel the darkness of ignorance? To remove the miseries. Why to remove miseries? You have to remove the darkness, because the darkness of the ignorance is the root of all the miseries. When the root is cut, the miseries stop. When the fuel is cut, the flame stops. So this is why we offer this light to ignite the light of the wisdom, to dispel the darkness of ignorance, so that miseries will come to an end. And when you offer the lights, don't think that I'm just offering one light. Just imagine billions and trillions of infinite lights that you're offering, not only to one Buddha, but to all the Buddhas, particularly with His Holiness, the Buddha Shakyamuni, and His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, and whatever deities that you consider as your personal deity, you can think of that and offer this. And when offering, they don't think that you are just one person offering. No. Think of your parents, think of your children, think of all the sentient beings, human beings, animals, insects, honey ghosts, spirits, god and goddesses, everyone with you, making the offering of lights to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas with a deep sense of respect and devotion. Okay, this is light offering. Okay, now the next part is that tomorrow morning we're going to come here at 5:45, and the fun is choice, because in 2 days, if you put a little bit of effort to come here, and it's going to be like 3 days. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and then 2 days later. In 3 days, if you put little effort to see what is the morning practice like, this will be greatly, greatly beneficial in ways that how to design your lifelong practice. Okay, the battery. Okay, so it will help us to design a lifelong practice. Why I'm saying this is that where we conduct retreats for like the 10 days. Now, oftentimes people come with one question. That is that, okay, now the 10 days has been very fruitful, beneficial, is very transformative. But then the moment I go back to my house or home, and again, the mundane life will begin, then I'll be trapped there. And how to sustain my practice? This is a very serious question many people they bring up during these retreats. So the morning practice is designed just for that purpose. For us, that even after finishing the retreats, you continue to create the pattern, create the routine in your life in the mornings, or so whichever time is suitable for you. For some people, maybe early morning you have to rush to your work. For some of you, and very few you have time in the mornings. The mornings are best. If not, then any time in the day which is more suitable for you, evenings or afternoon, whatever. Okay, so this is what we need to keep in mind. Tomorrow, 5:45, we'll be together. Okay, having said this, now let us turn to page 3. Page 3 of the Blaze. This book, the title of the book is The Blaze of Non-Dual Bodhicittas. In short, we just call it The Blaze. Okay. Okay, so we're going to, as an auspicious beginning, we're going to do the one part of the practice which we usually do, which we do every morning for these retreats, and it involves many part of which involves the reading. And when we read, there are 3 ways to read. There are 3 ways of reading it. Number 1, where the words flow. Number 1, where the words flow. Number 2, the words flow and the meanings reflected. You contemplate on the meanings. Number 2. Number 3, words flow, meanings reflected, and experiences are invoked. Experiences invoked meaning where you just say, integrated compassion. You taught that Immaculate Dharma. Just by reading these 2 lines, goosebumps will come on your body. That is invoking the experiences. So, but don't expect that right in the beginning. So this will come to us way later, after long time practice. Long-term practice, then just by saying the word Buddha can they invoke, I say, the goosebumps on the body. You just feel the experiences so profusely arising. So, but for us, we can minimum do the second version with the words flow and the meanings reflected. Okay, in other words, what I'm saying is that while we read this, just try your best to avoid mental distraction. Okay, so, and then when necessary, I'm going there's some of the passages or the one mantra, Ye Dharma mantra, I'm going to explain it here in this class this evening. And then there are some of the other verses which I may explain tomorrow morning, some of them tomorrow morning, and then still others in day after tomorrow morning. Okay, so with this in mind, let's turn to page 3. Together. Okay. So for these practices, the great Tibetan teachers, they say the two activities which are so important, one at the outset and one at the end. At the outset, setting a proper motivation. At the end, dedicating marriage properly. Let me repeat it. I say two things which are very important. To the activities which are very important with respect to engaging in virtues. One at the outset and the other at the end. At the outset, setting proper motivation, and at the end, dedicating virtues properly. Okay, so that is for the setting proper motivation, refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purposes practice. So when I explain these things, it's not just part of the ritual of this, but that we all to keep this in mind, keep these things in mind, and then later when you're on your own, that you can fully engage, fully utilize your time and practice in the most efficient way. So for the first refuge field, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us. For example, here you can see the vibe of the Dharma is so blessed, you can feel it. And then how you visualize the Buddhist Bodhisattvas is that they're so loving, caring, embracing, and the way in the manner in which the mother looks at her child with so much love and affection. So this is how you visualize all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas looking at you with so much love and affection. And for the Bodhicitta field, visualize your two grandparents and all of them members, children, and all other dear mothers and beings living on the side, where you are like the mother, being so loving, caring, and all others are like children. And then number 3, the purpose of this practice is to awaken the hidden treasure within us. Each one of us, we have the hidden treasure, which we want to discuss tomorrow morning, not in the tomorrow main class. Hidden treasure. The real source of happiness, real source to stop all the painful tears is the treasure inside. So our job, the Dharma practice, is to awaken the treasure inside. So with this mind, let's turn to page 3 and imagine that you're leading practice and all beings are joining us. And to by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And to by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And to by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Sanje Juda Soge Chonam La Chanju Pardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Dola Penjere Sanje Dubarai Sho Sanje Juda Soge Chonam Pardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Dola Penjere Sanje Dubarai Sho Sanje Juda Soge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Dola Penjere Sanje Dubarai Sho Sanje Juda Soge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Dola Penjere Sanje Dubarai Sho. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas, and the Buddhas as follows. The note of the all which leads the hearers seeking pacification and complete peace. The note of the paths which causes the Bodhisattvas with altruism to benefit, help migrators to achieve the aims of the world. And omniscience, the thought of possession which helps the Buddhas expound a variety of teachings and dealt with the complete aspects of these subjects. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata and protector to you and my prostrations, the one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is a divine vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, we'll recite this mantra once and then I'll try to explain this word-to-word meaning. Then we'll recite it 2 more times. This is known as the essence of dependent origination mantra in Tibetan, Dende Nyingbe Sunga. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato yavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato yavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Okay, I'll quickly explain the meaning here. Although the meaning you can see just the next verse is the meaning of the dependent origin mantra. But word-to-word meaning I'm going to give it right now here. And it begins by saying Om Ye Dharma. It says this syllable Om. And the original version of this mantra, it does not have this. It does not have this Om. You want to add it or you don't want to add it, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. If you want to add it, keep in mind this Om is the syllable which is common to Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. But the meanings are very different. Otherwise, what it means in Buddhism and Hinduism and Jainism is very different. So don't think that is because it's the same word, the same sound that it means the same to all the traditions. No, they mean very differently. So in Buddhism, this Om, how this word syllable Om is constructed or is constituted, is constituted of 3 letters, A, U, Ma, 3 letters. And these 3 letters, they combine together, it becomes Om, not And you may think that, what is this language? So this is how the language works. For example, like in English, we say the CUP is, what is that? CUP, how do you pronounce it? CUP. Cup. PUT, but. PUT, what is PUT? But or what? It's but or put. PUT, not BUT. BUT is but. PUT. PUT is put. But you say with CUP, U is a cup. Not okay. With PUT, it's the put is not but. But why? No reason. So this is how the language works. So, in Sanskrit, I'm not a Sanskritist, but this is how it works. The language works. A, U, Ma combined together, it becomes Om. Okay. So what does it mean? That these 3 syllables, they symbolize the body, speech, and mind. What we described earlier, when you become a Buddha, so your body, speech, and mind, these 3 will become Buddha. So when you say the Om, it should the 3 syllables which constitute the 3 alphabets, which constitute 3 letters, which constitute the syllable Om, symbolizes the body, speech, mind that we have at the moment, and also the body, speech, mind of the enlightened being. In other words, when we start this mantra, it should remind us that my body, the ordinary body, speech, mind that I have, need to be transformed into the body, speech, mind of the Buddhas. In other words, I should become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, so this is the meaning of Om. Then the next, Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. Ye. Ye is these. Ye means these. And given that the book that you have is your copy, if you want to make a note, you can make note. There's nothing wrong with this. And some people say that, oh, no, you should not write on the scribble on the scriptures, is accumulating negative karma. No, this is a wrong conception. In fact, so when does it go wrong is when when you scribble on it disrespectfully. At that point, you accumulate negative karma. But with respect, you make notes on these, like what is the ye, these dharma, phenomena, hetu, cause, and so forth. This is perfect. There's nothing wrong. What you wrote, it becomes an additional scripture, additional scriptures. So it becomes richer. So when does it go wrong is when there's disrespect. When do you have disrespect? For example, let's say that somebody said, okay, somebody told me that, okay, Dorji, we will meet for a cup of tea tomorrow. No, the 1 week later, the next Sunday at 3 p.m. And then I wonder that I may forget it. So I keep a note on the book, on the textbook. Right? Okay, at 3 on Sunday, I'm meeting Gumbala. Right? That is disrespect. In worst cases, for example, say I lend 2,000 euros and I may forget it. I make a note there, I lend 2,000 euros to this person, right? This is totally disrespectful. This is where we can potentially accumulate negative karma. So whereas to write the meanings of the words, you just write it in very clean handwriting. And this one, it actually enriches the scripture. Okay, so ye dharma, ye is these, dharma is phenomena. Hetu is a cause. Prabhava, arise. These phenomena arise from causes. Phenomena meaning phenomena of happiness, phenomena of miseries. The miseries we go through, the phenomena of miseries we go through, phenomena of the happiness we go through, they don't arise randomly, they arise from the causes. So this is very interesting because this mantra, don't expect that this mantra you recite it and then you will have some miracle happening. Don't expect. Real miracle is that your conviction in the law of cause and effect. Your conviction in the law of cause and effect. For example, what is the law of cause and effect? That, okay, in Switzerland, do you have the bitter gourd? Bitter gourd. What do you call it?
No, we don't have it.
You don't have it. Okay, so there's one vegetable which is bitter in taste, and Kusala is saying that it's available in the Indian markets here in Switzerland. So there's a bitter vegetable. You know that? Okay, so just imagine you plant a bitter gourd seed and expect mangoes growing out. Is possible? Not possible. You plant bitter gourd seeds, and then expect mangoes growing. Is possible? Not possible. Not possible. Why not? Bitter gourd seed and the mangoes, these two are not compatible. You're getting it? If you want mangoes, you have to plant mango seeds, not bitter gourd seeds. This is known as the efficacy of the cause and effect. Efficacy of the cause and effect relationship. So, say, sometimes that His Holiness is amazing. We have to learn a lot from His Holiness. His Holiness says that Tibetans, they invoke Zambala, the god of wealth, and then no millionaire. You're getting it? Which means just invoking the Zambala will not make you millionaire. Billionaire is it's a god of wealth. You should get more wealth. Okay, so So let's say that let's say that you read newspaper and you heard, or you read a book, and you come to know that let's say Professor Edmund Zelendga, he became a Nobel laureate in physics. Oh, I also become a Nobel laureate in physics. And then you break Buddha, oh many, please make me the Nobel laureate in physics. You recite the mantra for 100 years, 50 years. Is it possible that you become Nobel laureate in physics? No, then you can recite the Einstein mantra. Om Einstein, Om Einstein, Om Einstein. Recite for 50 years. Do you think that you'll become Nobel laureate in physics? No. This I can give you signature, my signature. I can guarantee you will not become Nobel laureate in physics. If you recite mantra for 100 years, you will not become Nobel in physics. So if you want to become Nobel in physics, what should you do? Study physics. This is a course which concomitant in nature with you become a Nobel laureate in physics. Study physics. So this mantra is to tell us that if you don't want miseries, stop the causes of miseries. If you want happiness, you have to know the cause of happiness and adopt these causes of happiness. This is the advice. So if you recite this mantra by knowing the meaning so well, then what happens? Your conviction in the law of cause and effect builds up. For example, Albert Einstein, he doesn't believe in randomness. When quantum mechanics, Niels Bohr and other scientists, they come up with the concept of quantum mechanics, Einstein also contributed to quantum mechanics. But at a certain point, Heisenberg, Niels Bohr, what they said is that there is a phenomenon known as randomness in quantum mechanics. And Albert Einstein was totally against that. What he said is that the whole universe is operating based on the physical law of cause and effect, no randomness. This is what Albert Einstein said. So what the Buddha taught, whole universe is operating based on the law of cause and effect. Law of cause and effect. Einstein added the word physical. For Buddha, physical, mental, both. Whole universe is operating based on the law of cause and effect. And Einstein added, whole universe is operating based on the physical law of cause and effect. So in other words, the Buddha 2,500 years ago, Einstein 150 years ago. So both said that universe is operating based on cause and effect. There's no room for, say, the wrong causes. So it says, Ye dharma hetu prabhav. All these phenomena which you dislike, the miseries, happiness that you like, they don't come randomly. They all come from the respective causes. The next line, Hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat. Hetum is the plural form of the cause. Hetu, plural form of cause. Tesham, these. Tathagato, the Buddha, or the one who has gone to the ultimate. Hyavatat is said. What these causes are, particularly the causes of the miseries are, is taught by the Tathagata. Hetum tesham tathagato hyava. Hetum is causes. Tesham, these. Tathagato, the Buddha. Hyavatat, said or taught. Then the next third line. Tesham chayo. Tesham, these. Chayo, whatever of these causes, the causes implicitly indicated, whatever of these causes, the cessation, nirodha, cessation, the cessation of these causes of the miseries. Evam, the last line, evam, thus. Evam is thus. Vadi is said or taught, said. Vadi, who said it? Mahashramana, the great saint. Maha is the great, and Shramana is the saint or the seer. Great saint. Who is the great saint? The Buddha. When the Buddha said it, he said that how to stop the causes of these miseries is thus taught by the great teacher or the great saint, the Buddha. So when the Buddha said this, it's not just Buddha Shakyamuni. All the Buddhas in the past, Buddha Shakyamuni received teaching from the past Buddhas. All the past Buddhas, they taught this. Yes, Swaha, the last two words, yes, Swaha, is this is established thus. This is established meaning this is a reality. Okay. So, Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. All these phenomena arise from the causes. Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyevatat. These causes are taught by the Tathagata. Tesham Chayo Nirodha. The cessation of these causes, particularly these causes referring to cause of the miseries, Evam. Thus, Vati taught by Mahashramana, the great seer. Yes, Vaha, this is established. Okay, we'll recite this once more, and when we recite this, just see if you can contemplate on the meanings of these words. Okay, and then your conviction in the law of karma increases. Your conviction in the law of the cause and effect increases. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Tum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesva. Meaning of dependent origination mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. Whatever is the cessation of these causes is taught thus by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light and non-composite. Such is that nectar that Dharma have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, and silence are returned to woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times are the obeisance. The four C's of Buddhist teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness, transcendent sorrow, peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings from miseries until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries with his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of such that the beings are liberated. Instructions on parting from the four attachments. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and brought all sentient beings as my guests, I shall engage in appealing these accidents of enlightenment, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, let us turn to page 15. Page 15. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the Tathagata, the four destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, are prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O Supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. Where the pure body is formed, supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, based in 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord to ear prostrate. Where the supreme science fades like a spotless moon, color like gold to you are prostrate. Trustfully like you, the 3 worlds are not, incompatible wise one to you are prostrate. The saving having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the filler married with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata prostrate. The purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies are prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. I prostrate to the Buddha, the shepherd of my pets, I prostrate to the Dhamma, the protector, I prostrate to the Sangha, the supreme one. To all 3 I always prostrate with reverence. But extreme devotion to always prostrate, to all who are worthy of prostrations, through surrendering my bodies, numbering particles that constitute all realms. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is a teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through this medicine, sentient beings attain their state of omniscience, subdue the 4 falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, let's turn to Heart Sutra, page, I think, 31. Page 31, yes. Okay. When reading Heart Sutra and what are the points, what are the main points to keep in mind, these I'll explain tomorrow because today we're getting a little late. I prostrate to the Aryatubal gem. And thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on Mass of Alchis mountain Rajgriha, together with the great community monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalogateshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalogateshvara: how should any of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalogateshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of lineage wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, empty is a form. Empty is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, fading, discrimination, composition of factors in consciousness empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no objective touch, and no phenomenon. There is no eye element, and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in professional wisdom, the mind without obscuration, thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, there is then appointed nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance on professional wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the professional perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Yata Om Gade Gade Para Samgade Bodhiswaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha rose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, sons of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you've indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding the entirety along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, for overjoyed and highly praised that is spoken by the Buddha. You will recite this mantra 5 times together. Deata Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhiswaha Deata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswaha Dhyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswaha Dhyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswaha. By the teachings of 3 supreme jewels possessing power of the truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems, conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, we will read page 44, the foundation of all good qualities, and then we're done. Foundation of all good qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to them is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is to be find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is a door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Pratyamaksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into samsara, so for all mother migratory beings, please bless me to stay there, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly with my mind the unified karma abiding special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, Please bless me to enter Holy Gateway of the Fortunate Ones, the Supreme Vajra Vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges of my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Guru so show the noble path, and the spiritual friends who practice after long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing qualities or stages of the paths, may quickly attain the state of Vajratara. Okay, let us recite the maximum verse together, and let me quickly explain the evolution of this, how this maximum verse came into being. Some of you, if you don't know about this, this was originally composed by Lama Tsongkhapa. Here. So it was composed by Lama Tsongkhapa, and the Lama Tsongkhapa composed this to honor his teacher, equating his teacher with the 3 perfect qualities of the Buddhas: perfect love, perfect knowledge, and perfect power. Perfect love embodied by Avalokiteshvara, perfect wisdom embodied by the Manjushri, and perfect power embodied by Vajrapani. And he equated his teacher with these 3 enlightened, the enlightened beings, the manifestation embodiment of the 3 perfect qualities of the Buddhas. And then the teacher, so actually how this verse goes is like to make him over Jamaica to Marjula Samada Kanjan Kebe Sugan Rendawa Shunuluta Shabla Suada. This is the original version composed by Lama Tsongkhapa to his teacher. And then teacher read this and he erased his own name. Erased his name and replaced it with his student's name and changed it to Kanjai Kebe Sugan Tsongkhapa Losanta Boshila Suade. And then this verse came to be so blessed, they doubly blessed by the 2 great teachers. And then all over Tibet, this verse was being so widely being said in profound devotion. So we'll say this verse in English and French, and followed by in Tibetan. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, teacher of hosts with demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Losanta by your feet and make prostrations. Se Temegembe Ombo Jambe Yam Kanje Kebe Tsoge Tsokaba Losatambe Shabla Sovande Nemetzevete Cherese Temekembe Ombo Jambe Yam Kanje Kembe Tsoge Tsokaba Losatambe Shabla Sovade You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer whose demons without exception, Songaba, crown jewel of the sages, the land of snows, Losan Taba at your feet and make prostrations. Okay, now we'll do the end dedication prayer. Page 55. Page 55. And so, as I indicated earlier, that the two things important with respect to the engaging in virtues. At the beginning, setting proper motivation. At the end, dedicating the virtues properly. So now is the end part for this session. No matter, with all the efforts, come all the way from your respective places to this beautiful place, no doubt that we have collectively accumulated enormous amount of merits and virtues, and these merits let's dedicate for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of joy and happiness on this earth, to continuously bless all the human beings, animals, insects, carnivores, God and goddess spirits in this world and for the whole universe. And let's also pray that the dedicated merits that are scattered, that all the learning centers of the Buddha's teaching, precious teachings, be it Theravada tradition, Chinese tradition, Tibetan tradition, within Tibetan tradition, Sakya, Kaikyu, Nyingma, Gelug, all these traditions, Chonang, Putun, and the Shalu, so all these traditions, may they thrive in the activities of the studying, contemplation, meditation, and that the members who are involved in these activities may they have a very good, healthy life with a harmonious community spirit. And there's also dedicated merits that's gathered that the centers like Ngenduduba Buddhist PMT Buddhist Center, and here to then the Chamziling Center, and all the centers who are rendering incredibly great service to teach compassion, to teach the universal, the altruism Bodhicitta, likewise the wisdom of emptiness. May all the centers thrive in the activities, whatever programs that they conduct, and the people involved there who are taking the responsibility for these, be the officials or the volunteers, and all those people who are involved, may they have a very healthy life, and that the spiritual journey also becomes extremely effective, and that they're continuously being blessed by Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. And let me personally dedicate the merit that's gathered, that each one of you, through your conscious and concerted effort, that you'll be able to soon see the dawn of the most beautiful mind of the Bodhicitta within you, and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness within you, that each one of you becomes such a reliable guide to lead all the amount of sentient beings to ultimate happiness, which is Buddhahood. May all these wars in the world stop. May all the calamities, natural and man-made calamities, disasters, they all stop. May the people, they have a good health, and may the ailments all disappear, and those who passed away, let's pray that they take favorable birth to meet with the Dhamma, to meet with His Holiness, with His Holiness's blessings, and to that they each one of them practice the Dhamma and eventually be able to stop all the painful tears and attain the ease to the maximum and to the infinity. So, and may the teaching of the Buddha flourish in the minds of all the dear sentient beings. So with this mind, let's recite the following verses together. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful champions, the Tencent Gyatso, please remain on samsaric ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samadhi too realize things as they are, also dedicate all his merits in the best way that may follow their perfect example. I did all these rules of virtue with the gratitude praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the holding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May I know all lives through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages, having dispelled all in and out obstacles and their downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and natural disasters, to the environmental degradation. May all beings forever enjoy the glory, peace, and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting by what means can one enhance his teaching, attributed to the Supreme Savior, to restrain his efforts over countless eons. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I've amassed from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds victimize the planet of ignorance. Okay, we'll recite the Buddha Shakyamuni praise 3 times together. Tavge toje shakeri so to shenge me to dege bonjomba serge lumbo tabo jebe ko shage Kyola chaselo Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa Tabge tuje shageri so shenge meto dege bonjomba sergen lumbo tabo jebe ko shaye gebo kyola chaselo mone mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa Tabge tuje shageri so shenge meto dege bonjomba Serge Lumbo Tabo Jebe Ko Shage Gebo Kyola Chaselo Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswaha Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswaha Tavge tuje shageri so tro shingem Dege bonjomba Serge lumbo tabo jebe ko shage gebo Kela chaselo Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswaha 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 Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswaha. Okay, 3 positions together.
Geshe Lharampa, thank you everyone.